there, hazards and hotties. Welcome to Basically Misled. I'm Dag.
And I'm Dag.
We give advice. 50% is life-changing, 50% will leave you crying in a stairwell by the end of the day. You decide which is which.
Come procrastinate with us while we chatter endlessly about things you should probably just Google.
All right. Let's get right into it because today's episode is what you've been waiting for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
What is it, Day?
It's where we go to the mall.
Oh my god, nobody likes the mall except for during Christmas season.
It's Tinder! It's
yay.
Tinder! Now...
We know you all love Tinder.
Yeah.
Probably been on it. Probably feel like it's a place you don't want to admit to your grandchildren where they came from type of app.
They came from Tinder. Came out of Tinder.
They came from sex that resulted in Tinder. That was the implication I was making.
Yeah. Sorry. Got there. I don't use Tinder for that kind of thing, so...
Of course.
Doesn't even cross my mind.
My bad.
Babies. Where are they made?
For a second, I thought you were calling our listeners babies. And I was like, what?
You gave me a really weird look. I was like, why is she giving me a weird look? Sex makes babies? That's the lead I'm making.
All right.
Anyways, away from that.
We got Tinder at different times.
Yeah.
But at this point now, we both have been on it for like a while, if not currently, like in the past. And
3 months or more, basically, I feel like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, why did you get Tinder, Day? Because I feel like it's kind of like a little bit of a leap for some people, or like really like start using it. Maybe you get it and then you get rid of it, but when did you like get it and start using it?
Well, okay.
Why?
Well, there was that like first time I got it freshman year, which is the sole reason why I made it Facebook. And that was more I wanted to kind of like see what was out there, I think, and like be flattered by people actually being interested in me, because no one's interested in me.
That's great that works like that for you.
Right, yeah. And so then, but then I got rid of it because I was like, a couple of times, because I was like, it's not healthy for me to keep using this and leading guys on, because I never met up with a single guy. So then, I had sex and was like, okay, I need to find more of this. And so I went on it to find like a long-term fuck buddy, basically. And that's why I went on it.
Yeah. I think I went on it with a little bit more deliberation, which...
Yes.
I think is probably a little unusual. The amount of
but it's really
deliberation.
You.
It is. It's very me.
It's on trend for you, yeah.
Yeah, but basically, I was single, and if I wasn't doing something about my status as a person who could like be dating, then I was either going to be thinking I would be forever alone, or just thinking about my ex. So instead, I got on Tinder. So, yeah. And
to see, like, what was out there, to find some connections.
Yeah, and just, like, to honestly, like, talk and meet up with people. Like, because my plan was, like, talk to people for a little bit and then, like, meet up as fast as possible.
Right.
And, yeah, so that's why I got on there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's exhilarating, man.
It was, actually. Compared to now, like, I think both of us definitely went through, like, it is very exciting to, like, send people a first message and, like, swiping and, like, will they swipe you back?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, maybe you, like, see somebody... This happened to me a couple times where you, like, see the person that you, like... you've wanted to talk to, and you're like, oh, like, damn, I could just swipe right here. And then you do, and then, oh my god, it's a match. And then what? They want to meet up with you? Like, oh! Yeah. That happened to me, like, once.
Yeah, that's never happened to me, but...
Once.
Mm-hmm.
if I'm thinking about it. But yeah.
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 So judging people's profiles is something that I think changes a lot from when you start to when you're more, like, when you've been on for longer.
Right. Like, not to use the word desperate, because I don't like that word. And honestly, some people might argue that you're already desperate if you are on Tinder, which I disagree with.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not true. I wasn't desperate. I was enacting a strategy. Like,
right, it's a way to actually, like, find people. And so, but, like, if you've been on there for a little while, and you're like, crap, like, it's been pretty stagnant lately, you might just start swiping right on everybody.
Oh, I had high standards. I'm just gonna go through my thing with profiles because because you know what? And it's true that I still have likes and dislikes, but whether something will make or break a swipe for me is just honestly gotten lower. Yeah. Because it's harder to get matches from girls. And I think that's pretty much like the universal thing. Like, it doesn't matter what gender you are, if you're looking for girls to, like, swipe right on you, that's difficult. Mm-hmm. Or it's not difficult, it's more difficult than if you are, like, looking for guys to swipe on you. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, so I started out, I don't like filters. I don't like a lot of pictures with filters because to me, I'm like, do you not like how you look to the point where you don't want to, like, tell people? I don't know. Something about it bugs me, not because I think people should have, like, I'm mad at people for not having good self-esteem or something, but I feel like it's more honest. I think that's what kind of bugs me about it.
I think there was one person on there that you showed me, and they said that they were, like, 100% real, but all of their pictures either had makeup or, like, filters.
Right, they're like, oh, like, I need people to, like, keep it real with me. And I'm like, you are, like, this is not real, actually. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't like filters. I also don't like people making demands on this, but this can go either way because I can sometimes I'm kind of like, oh, that's, like, kind of cute. Like, maybe a little flirty. And sometimes I'm like, excuse me, okay, bye then. Like, if you don't want these people, bye. Like, actually, I don't see this a lot anymore. And I don't know if it's because I look for different things now or because there is actually trends on Tinder, what people say. Yeah. But for a while, I swear there was so many people that are like, you better not be boring. And I would just swipe left on those people because I'd be like, excuse me for like, don't call me boring if you don't even know me.
Right. And don't just assume that people are going to be boring.
Or that you can know by a few messages they send you. Like, that.
Or that you aren't the boring one. Maybe you're the boring one.
So, things like that. I know it's a very common thing, but if anyone says, here for a good time, not a long time, swipe left. Actually, I still swipe. That's one thing I've kept. I am not a fan of that. I don't really know why. Something about it just puts me off. Yeah. Yeah. Also, for a long time, I would only swipe left on vegans just because I thought that they would be distressed by my eating. Right. Not because I had a problem with them, because I'm like, I feel like they would be upset about it. So I just let it go. But now I'm kind of like, okay, don't make that decision for people. And I just let them do it because I mentioned meat on my profile. So I feel like that's their decision now.
Now, if you take the meat part out of your profile, will you still let them decide?
Probably, just because I feel like it's kind of a jerk move to be like, I know about you because of something you said on your profile.
Assume all,
Yeah. Actually, I also, it doesn't really make a difference because honestly, I will swipe right on somebody if they don't have any things where I'm like, no. Like, obviously, people looking for hookups, I cannot provide for that. So I obviously say no. So if it's not immediately something that's terrible, I usually swipe right. Yeah. just to, like, be exposed to more people, because it's still, like, maybe 2 people a week.
Right.
At the rate I swipe, maybe. I mean, how many can you get in 2 hours if you try? Just for the record.
Me?
Yeah.
If I just was swiping?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't know. There was one time for a while where somebody told me that if I just swiped right on every single person, that I'd have 100 matches within, like, a week or something. And so I kind of did something like that, which honestly is terrible. Never do that, because then you have to go through and weed out the people that you actually didn't want to swipe right on. But I think that I, like, got up to, like, 70 matches within a couple days.
Yeah.
It was so stressful. I think I was already at, like, 30. So that was, like, 40 matches within, like, a few days. Too many. That's too many for any person to have.
Oh, also the interesting thing about profiles is that I read profiles first before I look at pictures, because I don't really care about your pictures if you say that you're a couple looking for a third.
No.
So,
I feel like, for me, it's been a little while, like only a couple months, but I have a hard time remembering what my style even was. So let's see. I feel like I was shallow. I would go to the photos first, but also that's what attracts me. Like, you're not as attracted to every single photo, you know? And for me, it's kind of like I would look at photos, and then I would look at profile, and then I would look back at photos. I feel like that's usually what it was.
Also location, honestly. And, okay, I think I'm also a weird Tinder user because of my whole thing with attraction. It's very difficult for me, so I feel like I can go more on, like on paper qualities.
Right, yeah.
Like, how close are they? I have lower standards for people with under 10 miles away from me. 100%. If you're close by, that's good.
Yeah.
Not that that's ever helped me. Ever. But one day.
It will. Yeah, I feel like I looked less at location. Mm-hmm. Especially since,
because they would drive to you.
I know. I had somebody drive, what was it, 73 miles? Or something. Another person drove like an hour from Seattle.
At like 11 at night, right?
Yeah, he took... I sound like such a bitch when I say this, but he was such a pain in the ass to actually get over. But also, it was like a thing with the guy I was with. He liked watching, so he like wanted that. And then I was like, kind of like, yeah, this guy can come over. And then he came over, but like he was like an hour later than he said he would be, I think. And he wanted to like spend the night. And I was like, I don't know you. No. And then it wasn't that great. It was a nice experience, I guess.
He was weird.
He was really weird.
But I've also thought of another thing, is that if people didn't have bios, I used to swipe left, because I'm like...
Oh, yeah.
I was like, if you can't write, like, one sentence about anything at all, like, that is just, like, that's... No. I don't like that.
Or if their only thing in their bio is, like, their Snapchat.
Or I don't know how to write bios.
Yeah.
Actually,
I don't like that
I
one.
sometimes swipe left. I swipe left on people who say that they're never on Tinder and just go to their other social medias. And I'm just like, no. Because I'm not looking to, like, become one of your followers.
Right.
Like, you don't need to talk to all your followers anyway. But now it doesn't matter. If people don't have a bio, I'm like, that's fine.
I feel like looking at like photos, I have some like turnaways. If they have a lot of like group photos where I can't tell who is who, or if they are just like, if they post a lot of like mirror gym selfies. I'm not into that as much. Like, if you have like one, that's nice. Like 2, 3, 4, no, thank you. Or they're like all the same pose, showing off like their really, really big muscles that are not attractive to me. Yeah.
If people have one picture and no bio, I always swipe left.
Yeah.
And I think it's for a really irrational reason, which is I think they're a catfish.
Yeah. Well, even like, I've had catfish experiences, I feel like. At least there was that one.
Yeah, there was that one.
But I feel like we talked about it. Did we talk about it on our podcast?
I don't know.
Did we tell our listeners?
But
it doesn't really matter.
But this gets into our messaging strategy.
Right.
Because that could involve...
the meetup. Yeah.
Yeah, finding catfish. I came up with this strategy, I'm pretty sure. I told it to you. The pen and the cup strategy.
I mean, you know it's not a real... You made it up strategy.
Well, I think it's a good one. I didn't invent it.
No.
I just
but
like...
Yes,
it's my favorite one that I like to bring.
The first person I almost met up with, who I just remember their name and cringe a little bit about. Oh God. But, he was gonna like take me out. This was freshman year. Like, we were supposed to meet up. And Dagny this was like when we weren't newly friends, but like, yeah. Anyways, she was like, do the pen in the cup method. So we did it, and he like sent me a photo. And
yeah, it's you have somebody send you a photo of a pen in a cup. Like,
yeah.
Have a mug, and then you know, like, if they can take a photo with, you know, then that's
right.
actually them. I think we're a lot less twitchy about people being catfishes now. It's only if people are like being really sketchy, like that one guy you were talking to.
Yeah, because here's the thing: is like, I tend to give my Snapchat to people. Like, there's definitely occasions where I'm just like, oh no, I don't have that, because I'm not really interested in that with them. At that point, I should have just stopped talking to them, but you know me, I like to keep things going. But I would just like give my Snapchat to people, and then if they kept sending me photos of them in different situations, then like, I'm like, they're not a catfish.
Right.
Also, with Snapchat, it has to be real time.
Right.
Otherwise, you know it's not real time. So like, it was easier. But yeah, there was this one guy who, first off, like, in his profile, he said, he gave like his physical characteristics.
Oh yeah.
So he was like, blue eyes, brown hair, like, let's say 5'6" or 5'9" or something like that. And maybe he even wrote muscular or something like that.
Right. Really weird.
Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure I messaged him on Snapchat, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, or maybe not.
I just remember that it ended with him sending you a huge long rant that I think he was like mad about.
Okay, I'll do this whole thing. Okay. I'll do the whole thing. Yeah. So basically, we were talking, and then like, I think I asked him what he liked to do, and he like gave this very generic list of like, he liked to do sports, and then like gave off his characteristics again.
I think he actually said sports.
Yeah.
He didn't say a sport, he said the word sports, which I find
He
strange.
talked about liking skateboarding, though. Because we had...
Skateboarding a sport?
Apparently. He, like, used to be, like, really into it or something like that. And, so... Yeah. See, I also was a little oblivious to this, but Dagny was like, Day, I think he might be a catfish. Like, this is really weird. And then I was like, oh shit, it is weird. Because I think I was screenshotting and messaging her these, like, weird things he was saying. And then he, like, started talking about how he had just gotten back from, like, Korea. And how they were, like, crazy over there. Which makes me think that he's like an old Korean vet. Like a guy who had been in the Korean War or something. Maybe not that long ago.
If you don't know who he is, he could be making anything.
I mean,
I don't know.
True, yeah. But then I think I was saying, I told him like I was half Korean. I hope he didn't like put that against me. And he's like, oh no, like don't worry, you're cute. Like I wouldn't think that or something. And then I tried to get him to do the pen in the cup method because I was like, I don't, like, we're thinking this guy might be a catfish. Like, we gotta just suss things out. And he just started going crazy on, not like started.
Wait. First he said that he had no mugs in his house because you're like, send it in a mug.
Yeah.
And then you said, that's okay, any cup will work. And then he said all of his cups were in his car and not in his house.
Right, because he was like, I literally, like, just got back from, like, being deployed.
So
or something like that.
Any cups.
So he didn't have any cups because his only, like, cup was in his car. And all he had around were vape bottles. He just had a lot of vape bottles, apparently.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah. And I think I was like, literally any photo will do. And he was like, why do you need a photo? Like, can't you just trust me? And then I think I said something pretty rude. Well, then I also let on that I thought he might be a catfish. And I think that made him more frustrated. And then he, like, just ended with saying that, like, I was, like, all women. And was like,
I feel like he also made a comment about you being Korean.
No, he did. He was like saying like
he was against like women and like Asian people.
And
he just like it was like a really it was a rant.
Yeah, I feel like I might still have those messages. We should look just for our sake because it was rough.
Yeah, so this was not a confirmed catfish. No. I will say that I am inclined to just call out. I will just be like, people are catfishes, just to keep everyone on their toes.
Because have you watched that catfish?
Oh, I don't need to watch anything. I just know.
Woo! Yeah. But, so basically, okay, overall, my messaging strategy / meetup strategy was, I was very bland. I think I usually just said hey to people, or people would message me first with hey. And then it'd be a little bit like, how are you? I'm good. How are you? And then they might like respond to part of my bio, because for a little while there I was like talking about like threesomes.
Or people responded to your ice cream run thing.
Oh yeah, kind of like people were like, let's get, or oh no, I had something that was like, I like to do late night ice cream runs, but I'd be tempted to go to your place instead or something like that, which was a bit misleading because I, in fact, didn't have a car, nor did I have my license at that point. So I couldn't really go to them. They would have to come to me, but they seemed more willing for that. Yeah. And then I would kind of just, like, go straight into the meetup, I feel like. And it would always be them just coming over to my house and us hooking up. Right.
Just kind of, like, a bit of conversation to be like, is this a real person?
Yeah.
And then if nothing weird happened, then you just write
It's either, like, I would meet up with them within, like, the week, or I wouldn't meet up with them at all. I felt like that was kind of
Who usually suggested meeting up? Them or you? Or was it, like, 50-50?
I don't even remember.
Or was it kind of like a flirty game and who really started it type thing?
I think it was that one. Yeah.
Mine is a lot more boring compared to yours, Dave. I live the sad Tinder life. I feel like a big theme is if you are a girl, if you're a straight girl on Tinder, that is the top of the food chain. Me, I'm at the bottom of the food chain.
But, okay, honestly,
looking
like...
for gay girls.
It didn't really... Like, it got me where I wanted to go in that moment, but it didn't get me any further than that.
I'd be fine with just looking where I'm trying to go. If I got to where I was trying to go, that would be fine.
Tell us your strategy,
My messaging strategy may seem a bit sad and desperate compared to Days. Hey, okay.
Well, I think it really was just that bathing shot at the end. Just got all the boys running to me. Not really at all, but yeah. Okay.
So I do have a thing. I'm not 100% on this, but I basically either have a policy of I am planning on messaging someone one day or I unmatch them. Yeah. So the minute I'm like, I don't like messaging a lot of people at once, which could be a bit of my issue. Mm-hmm. But I basically just I usually message people, hey, and then like something about their bio, like a question. Mm-hmm. And I mean, my strategy is basically I will message them, and if we have any half decent conversation, then I'll be like, cool, want to meet up? Not because I think that not because I specifically like them, but because I feel like I can't know if I like someone unless I meet them in person. Yeah. So I feel like we could talk for like a couple weeks, but then if I met them in person and then I was like, we don't really have a good vibe in person, then it would just be totally useless, because if I wanted an internet friend, like, there are places I would go, and it is not Tinder. No. Like, I don't know. People are gay and they're happy to talk to me, I'm sure. Like, on a totally online place. Like, I'm sure I could find someone. I just... Yeah. I, like, want that, like, in-person talking to. Yeah. And so, like, that's my message plan. I recently kind of altered it, because before I was like, if you message someone and they don't respond, then that's it. But now I've changed my policy a little bit, whereas if they are, like, seemed interested in meeting up, now I'll send a second message. I'll let anyone know if that actually pans out, because so far I've just been ghosted a lot. Yeah, I don't know, but part of me is kind of like, okay, the reason I have a messaging strategy, for the record, is not because I'm like, oh, with this strategy I'll conquer Tinder and get all the girls like at my door. Right. No, the reason is so that I don't have to make decisions and I don't have to think about things. And, you know, and be like, oh, what do I do in this situation? No, the situation is already planned out. Mm-hmm. If this happens, like, I'll message this person. The only thing I don't do is I don't delete people who have ghosted me. And I feel like I might add that in. Yeah. Because it really only annoys me if they're on that top kind of, like, queue. And they're like, people you haven't messaged. And I'm like, well, this is clearly a to-do list. Yeah. Something, I guess, about Tinder is that I don't find messaging people or talking to strangers online good, really, in any way. So I'm like, this is like a chore for me, so I can find someone to... Like, meeting up with people isn't really a chore. Mm-hmm. But messaging them is. I don't like texting, even people I know, very much. Right. So to text strangers is even worse. Tinder really wasn't designed for me. And yes, I'm going to go on there, and I'm still trying to, like, make it work for me. Go you. God.
Yeah, because I feel like any real app that you don't pay for is going to give you a similar experience.
Yeah, that's the other thing. People are like, why go on Tinder? You should go on this other app. But I feel like, from what I've heard collectively from a bunch of people, I feel like all apps are very similar, but Tinder has the biggest pool, which is why I'm on it. Yeah.
So, is it worth it?
I think about that a lot.
Yeah.
I do.
Reflecting on life and Tinder.
Yes. Currently, I would say yes. But Tinder's current best function is a barrier between me trying to meet people and me just, like, sitting alone at home thinking one day I'll move to a bigger city where there's more gay people and somehow that will magically lead me into the world of dating. Yeah. I'm a lot less, I think, like, I'm less gun-shy about meeting up with people. Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, I would meet up with anyone. I would text anyone. Like, like, I'm not shy about meeting up strangers for a date-like situation.
Right.
So, in that way, it's been beneficial. But also, I'm just not sure how much longer it will be. It's just very difficult for me to think about sitting around, like, not doing anything to find a life partner and yet knowing that's one of my most important goals. You know? Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. Like, if that's, like, important to me, it seems like I shouldn't just put it off to the point, like, for multiple years. Like, mm-hmm. Obviously, like, for a month, for, like, 6 months, sure, like, no problem. But, like, for years, it just seems like, I don't know. But the question is, yes, it's currently worth it. But I don't really know for how much longer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever had the question, like, when you had Tinder, and were you kind of going through, like, is it worth it? Because I think a lot of people go through phases of deleting it or getting rid of it and then getting it back. And I feel like that's kind of a similar question. Like, is this worth it to have this on here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there were definitely times where, like, I didn't really, like, have a lot going on. So it's kind of like, is this, like, really, like, should I have it? But I think, I mean, it served its purpose for me, which was to, like, find people. And, For hookups. And then, like, I had one that was more like a long-term hookup situation, so I wasn't really on it because it was during school and I can't juggle multiple people during school, nor did I really want to at that point. And then I was gonna go back on it for a different purpose, like the purpose to find, like, a relationship. But that wasn't necessary so far. I'm sure I'll do that.
Yeah, if you found yourself single, would you go back to Tinder, but with the intention of looking for someone to date?
If I didn't feel I would be able to find it in the real world, then yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, like, I feel like there are certain things that I made habits from Tinder that now, if, like, in an actual dating situation, I'm like, oh, wait, this is how it goes. Like, it's not this way. Okay. But I think
like, things, like, move, like, really fast on Tinder, but in a dating situation, they don't? Or, like, what do you mean by that?
I guess, yeah, it's more like, oh, wait, this first date, we're not going to even kiss. Like, that's really nice because, like, it's kind of, like, taking it at a different pace. But also, like, oh, it's not like he's in my room within 10 minutes with us already taking our clothes off or, like, just, like, talking with the intent to make out and get on with it soon. But I like it. I like the more to it. I like actually going on dates and talking. It doesn't feel as weird except for the fact that, like, what, he likes me maybe? Maybe he doesn't. You'll never know. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought. I think that, like, it's good. I have no hard feelings against it. It's hard. It's hard to be on Tinder. It is, I think. Also, it can be a little addictive.
Yeah.
And sad at the same time.
I think I was getting a little swipe happy.
Yeah, right.
But that was like really early on, and now it's not addictive to me. I don't probably get that same... It's so tiring, but I don't think I get that... I don't get the thrill of as many matches and a bunch of people trying to message me.
But see, I didn't even have that many people trying to message me, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, I never had more than, like, 5 conversations going, I don't think. 4, maybe 4.
Just gave Day a look.
I'm sorry. Really, I mean, I'm trying to, like, think.
I was at a point where I was messaging 3 people at once because I knew that there was no way that more than one of them would respond. And so if I wanted to have a conversation with one person, I'd message 3 people at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
I honestly, I don't really hold it against people because I think that's how the app is set up, and it's like that's how the society is set up. But I also like have to wonder if that's like bad. I feel like it's a little because okay, so if you have this app and you're just like what you're doing is you're getting used to like seeing messages and ignoring people as a way to get them to go away. Like, I don't know, I'm not a fan of that. But also like that's a very, I mean, I don't want to say, like, old-fashioned. But, like, if I meet up with someone or I don't want to keep talking to them, I usually message them and I'm like,
I feel like
bye.
it's a
or
thing.
I just
match them?
Match them. Yep, that's where.
I feel like it's a thing, though, of, like, keeping your options open.
It is, yeah.
So people might see your message, be like, oh, this girl's kind of cute. Like, yeah. But then they're like, oh, but I'm trying to talk to this other person. So I'm just going to, like, not respond yet. And if things don't work out, then I'll message her.
Right. But I mean, like, for months. Play the long game, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I also have fallen into it. Literally, I feel like this is when I look back at my current Tinder experience, this is my worst moment when I think, okay, this is what using Tinder did to you. So you better watch out for that. Is that I was meeting up with somebody, or I was planning on meeting up with someone that day, and they messaged me in the morning and said, oh, sorry, I can't make it. And I closed their message, went on Tinder, and messaged my new match. And then I went and responded to them. And was like, oh, that's fine, I understand. But you know what? But it's that thing of like, okay, you won't talk to me, I'll find someone who will. And I think, I mean, like, obviously, it's me doing it, but I feel like that's the kind of environment that Tinder creates.
Yeah.
So I try to watch that. I try to be like, I don't know, an honest, like, putting myself in conversations, even on a place like Tinder.
Right.
But it's really hard, and I definitely fail a lot, so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what am I doing with these standards? I feel like
I don't know
it's not industry standard to do this on Tinder.
Yeah, you talking about Tinder just makes me not want to go back on there now. I'm like, oh man, it's a rough game.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's kind of a game.
It is, fully.
Yeah.
You swipe, you get matches. You play the game of who's going to message first. Oh, are you going to keep the I always feel so much pressure with conversations, which is why I think I just, like, get people to come over. But, yeah. Yeah.
But so overall,
what
do we think that Tinder is maybe good for and bad for? Because in a way, I feel like you could say that it's good for treating dating lighter. Yeah. Whether that's a good or bad thing is, I don't know, up to you, I guess. Mm-hmm. But, because, like, you didn't really want to meet up with anyone, but all of a sudden, like, now you're confident to have basically any stranger over, like, by the end of it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah. Basically,
So if people just want to get out there and have people see them in a dating sense, I think it is good for that.
It is good. I mean, like, I gained not confidence from Tinder, but like, I think having like an experience where people actually vocalize their interest in me made me realize, oh wait, maybe like it is. But like, maybe I'm not just complete.
The ugly duckling of the class of penguins.
Yeah. And then I think, like, yeah, it's good for kind of, like, socializing with people online in a way, like, creating conversations. Like, I've met some pretty, like, interesting people or, like, learned some different things. And that was nice. So I think it's, like, good for that type of stuff, but I don't know if it's really, like, I don't know. I feel like it's hard. I feel like for me, it'd be hard if I was trying to do more than just sex on there or put emotions into something.
Yeah. So it's basically, it's a very good place to be a straight girl looking for sex. If this is you, like,
go on Tinder.
You will be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it helps if you conform to traditional beauty standards, but like...
Right.
I don't know if you need that. I've never talked to a person that I would say maybe doesn't and maybe would have a different take on that. But like, yeah, if you are a straight girl looking for people, that's good. Mm-hmm. Also, actually, I don't know anyone who actually would be interested in this, but it seems like it's also a good place if you are a bisexual girl looking to hook up with a couple.
Right.
Of a guy and a girl.
Yeah.
They seem to want a lot of those on Tinder, so you're wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. They use, like, the little unicorn emoji, which some people hate the fact that there's, like, because if you're, like, a girl looking for other girls, like, on a dating app, but there's no way to filter out all of these, like, guys that are actually on this profile, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Tinder does show you guys sometimes, which I feel like it's just glitchy. I don't hold that against Tinder.
I feel like I may have gotten a couple girls online. Yeah. So I think it's just glitchy. I just remembered that.
Yeah. Tinder is a difficult place to view people as people that you want to emotionally connect with.
Yeah.
It's not very good for that.
No. I feel like, on Tinder, like, I wanted to, like, use photos to, like, basically sell my body to get people to match with me. And that's, like, not a healthy way to look at yourself and how you go through the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think, like, Tinder is the most popular dating app right now, right? Like,
I think so.
Overall, so... I know, okay, all this said, we live in a pretty small area.
Yeah.
So, I think that it is different if you are in a really big city, because I feel like if you were swiping all the time, there's a bigger variety of people. There's probably more people on there, and then I feel like profiles might matter more. I don't know that, but I just feel like that might be the case.
Yeah.
If you're in a big city, there's just, I mean, I know people who've started romantic relationships from Tinder that have lasted, like, at least 6 months. So, like, there you go. Like, people have done it.
Same, yeah.
It's not ideal, but it is a useful tool. Because, like, if I didn't have Tinder, what would I be doing right now?
Right.
Match.com. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't even know any, like, all other dating things is just, like, one big, like,
Farmers only.
Farmers only.
You could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Tinder as like a whole experience thing, I feel like you kind of have to go in there knowing what you want and sticking to that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And advertising yourself for that.
Oh, also I'd say it is a good place to do kind of a form of people watching, if you can call it that. If you like learning about, you know, the very basic bits of people and are interested in the kind of profiles they create about themselves, that's very interesting for about 3 weeks.
Right, yeah.
Like, there's this one person, kind of going off your point about know what you're looking for, who said, and I still remember this because it still pisses me off, is that they said that they're looking for something worth looking for. And I thought, you're not being cute, you're just being so indecisive and you're making me decide why you're on Tinder. That's not my job, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's certain things people say, which is basically, it's kind of an opening for people to like kind of flirt back.
Right.
In a way where they're like, I'm worth looking, like, or like, I'm not boring, watch me do this. It's kind of like a challenge.
Yeah.
Some challenges I'm kind of like, oh yes, like that's me. And some challenges I'm like, no.
No.
Honestly, I could probably benefit from being a little more lighthearted on Tinder, I'm not gonna lie. Or jokey. But you know, it's hard to joke over message. I feel like I just sound like I'm being a bitch sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's hard for me to really, like, be my true self through a dating, or through messaging with anybody who doesn't fully know me.
Yeah.
Because I can, like, be a little teasing in a harsh way, I feel like sometimes, and if you don't know me, then you're just like, ow. So then I have to, like, do the tongue stick out face emoji to show I'm being silly or something.
Emojis are good, but I feel like some people are very put off by them. So I worry about sending emojis, even though I feel like it helps show your vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think, like, it was good. It got me a lot farther than just daily life would have gotten me, I think. And I would go back on it. But I think it has, like, there's definitely little things that, like, happen in my daily life that I realize, and then I'm like, oh, that's because of Tinder. That's what Tinder did to me.
Daily things.
Well, not daily things. What's like not daily things.
Wait,
I
tell
don't
me one
know.
thing.
Well, there was that thing that I said earlier.
Okay.
I feel like there is, like, another one or something.
I find myself thinking in terms of, like, does this make you a desirable mate or not? Because, like, right now I'm losing weight, and I'm like, how many more matches do you think I could get?
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? Shouldn't really matter, but it kind of does, like, in a very functional sense of, like, oh, I don't know, if I have a picture of myself outdoors, like, if I mention this on my bio.
Right.
Like,
it's made me start taking more selfies.
I've not reached that level yet.
And now I'm just like, why do I have all these photos of myself? I guess for when I'm older, I'll need it. Not that I take that many. Also, I think that's more a Snapchat thing, because then, like, I'm taking a photo to send to somebody cute.
That's true.
And then I'm like, wait, this is actually good lighting. Gotta get some more photos.
I wonder if every generation after us will just have, like, selfies at every single age. Like we kind of do. Well, not every age. At a certain point, we have selfies. And I wonder if just one day, everyone will have selfies of basically, like, every year of their life.
Wow. I wonder that, too.
Not pictures of themselves, but, like, selfies.
Like, physical
That's
selfies.
So many selfies. I'm just imagining them, like, all lined up in some sort of, like, giant art project.
Yeah.
Where it's, like, you know, every 50 days, like, a selfie of someone, but, like, for their whole life.
Oh, my God.
Like, since they could hold a phone.
But then it's like them, the corpse,
Oh
taking a selfie at the end. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, what are your reflections? Do you have any other reflections to add about Tinder as a whole?
No, I think... I guess I would just say... Try it. Go in with a plan or don't. But... I don't know. I guess Tinder is not any different than doing a bunch of... than replacing a lot of in-person human interaction with doing stuff online. I think it's not better or worse.
Yeah, just know, like, it might be exciting in the beginning, but it will get old.
Wow, we sound like we're total party poopers. People are like, oh, we're so excited, we're gonna listen to this Tinder episode. And we're like, kids, it's not worth it. We were on for 3 months. We became old and hard. And, oh, I didn't even mention this, but to not become bitter on Tinder has been a constant struggle. I like to think of myself as a nice person, but Tinder has challenged that massively. And I mean, I think I'm better for it. Yeah. But still.
I mean, yeah, it's like hard.
We're bitter and we've decided that love is not going to be found anywhere.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Leaving, that's my end quote.
Okay.
Love isn't found anywhere. Continue on.
Well, I don't feel that way, but
no, I'm just kidding. It's not love we're talking about.
Yeah,
it's
you're not
Tinder.
looking for love. You're looking for a connection. Connections won't be found anywhere.
I just have to say that was a quote from Valentine's Day, but I substituted a word where she's like, it's not love they're talking about, it's sex. Get it? So it's like, it's Tinder we're talking about. I'm so funny.
So funny. Okay. Our list of pressing questions continue as we end today's monologue. Do you believe in the power of words?
You can now find us on Google Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, Castbox, and Messy. Just search for Basically Misled.
Send us show ideas and answer our burning questions at basicallymisled@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening and good luck with your future endeavors.